I have a question for you. And did you go through, when I started feeling my emotions the first time, I went through this process where when you talk about like the over emotional man, it's like when I first started to feel the emotions, I was like, I want to feel every single emotion. And like, this is it. And it's just like, I was just feeling emotions without any regulation of the emotions too. So it's like, I was really swaying far to that pendulum side of like doing it with feelings and stuff. Like, did you kind of have that same experience too?
100%.
Like,
yeah, definitely. Because you suddenly become aware that there's all that stuff there, right? And it's like, I need to get this out. But for me, that was very ungrounding in my nervous system.
Yeah, same with me. Right. It was affecting other people in my life too.
Right.
It was like almost like I had like zero control. I was like, I'm gonna feel what I want to feel. And I'm like, I'm gonna you have to give yourself every right to feel, your emotions. But the thing is, you have to be like, okay, it's like emotional hygiene, right?
Emotional hygiene.
It's like, okay, feel your feelings, but you don't have to express every single feeling all the time.
No, but your inner boy suddenly realized, shit, I got a ton of emotions down here, and I can express the whole lot. So he's like going to town. I'm gonna let it all out, right? You're gonna have a tantrum.
Yeah, I have that experience too, and I realized once you start seeing that and how it's affecting other people too, you have to learn to like grounding you were talking about. Like you have to be like, okay, feel the emotions, but you don't have to express every single emotion every time you feel it. It's okay to kind of like ground it a little bit and be okay with it yourself.
We need to compartmentalize as men. We need to be able to go, okay, put this over here, but I'm not going to avoid it. I'm going to open the door to it later. So you think back to like a primal sense, like lady is looking after the baby. There's a lion approaching. The man needs to tend to that lion. Needs to kill it. He's got no time to be scared, does he? You know? Do you know what I mean? So it's like, but maybe he is scared. So he's like, okay, I'm going to put that over there, and I'm going to open it up later. Do you know what I mean? A bit of a crude example, but
that's a good example. I think it's like you kind of have to be like, okay, I need to go and do this right now, so I'm going to focus on this, but I'm not going to abandon.
Right, and that's the core piece that most men abandon, because we learn to abandon as boys. And so the problem we see with so many male suicides and men who rage, or men who are passive and placid, is that they never learned how to normalize that in their body, and then it manifests as all manner of shadows, and it gets so murky and cloudy and mixed up that men are just tapped out.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, with the emotions and the shadows when it comes up, it usually points to something that is happening in your body which has happened before. And when we talk about shadow work and when we go into your subconscious, the idea is you're going into something that is triggering in you, and you have to take a look at it and be like, what is this that's coming up for me?
Well, I like that Joe Dispenza always says that your body is the subconscious mind, because your body doesn't speak a language, right? So it's like you just have to honor that feeling in the body. So for the men that are watching this and they want to start feeling more, like what are some of the ways that, like what are some of the things that they can start to do to feel more?
Interesting question.
I have an answer for this, I think. I think feeling more is really like being in your body and like really being present in your body. So I feel for men, what is really healthy is also like working out, right? Because it's like something where it's like you're working on your body, you're feeling in your body, and also just being more like sensual too, in terms of, being present with how things feel. Like even just like, like a light touch of fabric on your arms, kind of what that feels like. Because I feel if you get more in touch with your body, and at least my personal journey is as I've gotten more in touch with my body through either movement, somatics, dance, or working out, or just something active, it really allows me to pinpoint when a emotion is coming up, where that emotion is in my body, and then really focus on, okay, that's where that emotion is. And what we practice in the work that we do is the somatic experience behind it. So when you start feeling it, and start seeing if you can give it descriptions about, what is there a specific texture to the emotion, or is there a specific color, or like is there heat or cold coming up in your body, and just kind of really being comfortable with understanding what is going on in your body.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite an advanced. I love that answer. It's a great answer. My answer would be to just, number one, normalize vulnerability. To create a safe space where men feel safe to lower the armor, and begin to say the things that they are afraid to say in the world.
Yeah.
Number one. Like my journey into men's work started with a simple men's group where I learned to lower the mask of shame and be witnessed in my tears, because there was such a depth of safety created by the facilitator. You know, he was expressing himself vulnerably, so I felt safe to express myself vulnerably. And then I think for taking the men's work piece to one side and just focusing on that being the starting point for most men. And most men before that, they might go to therapy, maybe they'd attend a workshop here and do more of that work there. But I think it, that you just described, Andy, but I think it deepens a lot more when we learn to verbalize what's going on. Because a lot of men will say, oh yeah, gym is my therapy, and yeah, it's therapeutic, but it's not the whole piece, right? Yeah, it's good for you to go to the gym. But we need a dynamic approach to normalize feeling. Because I think, like you're saying, like come into the body, connect to the emotions, colors, all of this, it needn't be advanced, right? But I think that like a lot of men will feel resistance to that level of work initially. They just want to be able to say, oh, I'm struggling.
I agree with you 100% on that. And I experienced this when I came to your retreat in the UK, is the feelings of safety and feeling of the safety of being vulnerable, not just, you know, it's a lot of men I feel can feel vulnerable with women because with their partners, they can be vulnerable, or they can be vulnerable with their, you know, if they were growing up with their mothers, if they allowed that. But then to be actually vulnerable with your emotions in front of other men, that is a difficult edge I feel to get past, right? Because it goes back to the whole society thing. It's like men aren't taught to feel. We're not supposed to feel. We're supposed to joke about things. It's
Definitely
like,
not amongst other men.
You're in pain. Why are you sad? You know, just get through it, right? But then to actually be able to be open with that vulnerability or see another man vulnerable allows you to kind of feel into those emotions yourself.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of men feel more comfortable initially opening up to women. Certainly my journey into therapy, I was always looking for a female therapist. And so much of that relates to what your experience was with men and women growing up. Was it safer to express your emotions with women? For most men, yes, it was, because the father wasn't the ideal present emotionally because of everything we just talked about, right? That was the lineage. So yeah, it's much more risky for many men to be emotionally vulnerable with other men. But my experience tells me that that's where you get the greatest shift forward. Yeah,
to actually feel safety, right? Because it's like, it's the whole father wound situation. It's like you don't, a lot of men really aren't comfortable sharing their emotions with their fathers, or their fathers never shared their emotion. Because I remember I've maybe seen my dad cry like once or twice and never really seen that. So for me, it's like, is it okay as a man to show any emotion?
Yeah. Is it okay for me as a man to show emotion? Yes, 100%.
100%.
Yes, but like we said before, needing to learn how to do that in a grounded and regulated way. Right.
And I think that's what. Sorry, go ahead.
No.
I was just gonna say that's why the shadow work retreat was so powerful, because even for me, like, I didn't realize that I had a vulnerability wound, because I thought that I was feeling my feelings, but you guys were able to kind of break through that and tell me that a lot of the language that I was using was very mental. Like, it wasn't feeling, but it's like the things that I was thinking. And I thought that I had already felt it all, right? But again, it's kind of like this work comes in layers. So all the work that you do is not wasted. Like, it just stacks up. And yeah, like I just had to have the breakthrough during our retreat.
It really is like an onion. Like, as you start peeling away, and it kind of is like an onion too, because as you start peeling it away, it's like the fumes hit you, and then you start crying more. And it's like, oh, there's another layer to it. There's another layer to it. And I feel like, as you peel more and more away, like more and more emotions and feelings and different, there's like a nuance to allow the different feelings. You know, I feel like our language sometimes does a really big disservice to us in terms of, you know, maybe in the English language, there aren't as many descriptive words to kind of describe emotions and feelings as there might be in different languages.